So the shunt connected static var generator and absorber whose outputs are varied so as to control the specific power system quantities. So here we use this SVC or static var compensator for the voltage control. So the power system quantity is the voltage control by using the providing or absorbing the reactive powers. So there are basically 5 types of SVC, or you can say that there is a component of static var compensator system. So first component is the TCR, that is called as thyristor control reactor, the full form of TCR, thyristor control reactor. Second component is FCTCR, that is called as fixed capacitor thyristor control reactor. Third component is MSC-TCR, full form is mechanically switched capacitor thyristor control capacitor. Then next is TSC, thyristor switch capacitor thyristor control reactor, TSC TCR. And last one is thyristor switch reactor. So these are the component of the SVC system or static var compensator system. So the static var compensator system with the mechanically switched capacitor and reactor, that is called as a static var system. So the static var system is the aggregation of or combination of SVC, it means all these 5 components, as well as mechanically switched capacitor and reactor. And both the SVC as well as mechanically switched capacitor and reactor whose outputs are coordinated. So it means the combination of this SVC, this mechanically switched capacitor and reactor, that form the system that is called as a static var system. So SVS and SVC both are different. SVC that contains these 5 components, but SVS that contains all these 5 components as well as mechanically switched capacitor or reactor. So this is the difference between SVS and SVC. Do not confuse about these two terminology, SVC and SVS. SVS has both this, all this SVC component as well as mechanical switch capacitor and reactor, where SVC has only all these 5 components. So when this SVC system is operating its capacitive limit, that is acts like a simple capacitor. When this any of these 5 component, any one of the component is used in the SVC. So when it is act for the capacitive limit, operating in the capacitive limit, it is acts like a simple capacitor. Exactly opposite when it operates in inductive limit, it is behaves like a simple inductor. Now, before understand the operation of the SVC, we first understand the characteristic of the SVS, static var compensator system, because in generally power system we use the SVS system, not only SVC. We use the mechanical switch capacitor as well as reactor with the SVC. So generally we use this SVS system. So first we understand the characteristic of the ideal SVS. So from the viewpoint of the power system operation, the SVS is equivalent to the shunt capacitor. You can see that here, shunt connected capacitor and shunt connected inductor. And both are adjusted in such a manner to control the reactive power and to control the voltage at the terminal where we require the voltage control. So suppose this is the high voltage AC bus where we require the constant voltage or 1 per unit voltage. So at this point we connect this SVS system. So SVS system ideally that is a adjustable inductor and capacitor connected in parallel in such a manner that we can get the control voltage, or we can say that constant voltage at this high voltage AC bus. So this is the idealized static var system. Now we understand that graphically how we can draw the VI characteristics, voltage versus current characteristics of this ideal SVS system. So ideally the SVS that provide the constant voltage. So assuming that it is a desired voltage. Suppose our desired voltage is V0. So this ideal SVS that provide the constant voltage V0. So you can see that here in the VI characteristic, in the y-axis there is a voltage, terminal voltage of this bus, and here in the x-axis there is a current. It may be a leading current or lagging current. Leading current, it means that your SVS injects the reactive power because that is act as a capacitor, and lagging current, it means that your SVS system it act as a simple inductor, or you can say that absorb the reactive power. So as we know that the capacitor provides the reactive power and inductor absorb the reactive power. So here, based on the condition of the voltage at this point, we use the SVS system. So suppose that here at this bus the voltage becomes very low as compared to the rated voltage or as compared to the required voltage. So what we require? We require the excess amount of the reactive power. Why? Because the low voltage condition happens due to the large load condition, and because of the large load we require the high amount of the reactive power to maintain the constant voltage at this bus. So which component provide the reactive power? So that is nothing but the capacitor. So based on the requirement of the voltage control, we provide the adjustable reactive power by using this capacitor through this SVS system to maintain the voltage at the bus to the constant value or the rated value. Here in this characteristic it is V0. We require the V0. So for that you operate your SVC in this region, in the second region. Because in the second region they provides the leading current. It means that they inject the reactive power into the system. Lagging current means that absorb the current. So the condition at this bus, suppose light load condition or no load condition happens, what will happen at this bus? The voltage becomes very high as compared to the supply voltage or generator bus voltage. So at this condition called as a Ferranti effect, we know that receiving side voltage is higher than sending end voltage. So during the high voltage condition at the load side, what will happen? The voltage increases above its rated value. So to maintain the voltage at the rated value, we need to absorb the excess amount of the reactive power. So that done by this shunt connected adjustable inductor. So at this point we operate this SVS in this region, first region. So that is act as an inductor. So in any situation, higher voltage or lower voltage as compared to the required voltage at the bus, we can provide the adjustable reactive power to maintain the constant voltage at the bus. So this is a simple concept of ANIFAX devices of reactive compensation for the control of the voltage. So ideally this SVS provide the constant voltage. So you can see that the ideal characteristic provide the constant voltage, and they provide the unlimited reactive power generation as well as absorption capability with no active and reactive power loss. So it is ideal. So we assume that there is no active reactive power loss when they supply or absorb the reactive power to the system. And the performance of the SVS can be visualized on a graph of controlled AC bus voltage V plotted against the SVS reactive current. So you can see that controlled AC bus voltage here, and x-axis there is a plotted against SVS reactive current IS. So this VI characteristic of ideal SVS system, this figure that represents the steady state and quasi steady state characteristic of the SVS system. But in actual practice we not get this characteristic because this is the ideal concept of SVS. Now we see the next point, the actual characteristic of the SVS system. So actually we provide the variable inductor through the thyristor control mechanism, and we provide the plus fixed capacitor. We not control the capacitor. We will later on understand that why we provide the fixed capacitor, not the control capacitor. So basically in the SVS system we have variable reactor and fixed capacitor. So your equivalent circuit of SVS is look like this way. Yeah. But in the ideal figure you can see that the inductor and capacitor both are variable. Yeah. But this is the ideal SVS system. But in actual system, practical system, your inductor is only vary. It means you can absorb the control reactive power, but you cannot control the you cannot provide the control reactive power through this capacitor. You must provide the fixed capacitor. We will discuss the later on the reason behind this, why we not provide the control reactive power through this capacitor. So basically your SVS system is look like this practically. So as we know the inductor characteristics, so here we plotted the V was the I characteristic of the control reactor. This control reactor VI characteristics, this is look like this way. So here this current, zero current but rated voltage, it means that there is no reactive power absorption is required, zero current. But as the system voltage is increases, we have to increase the inductance by switching on and off the thyristor, so that we can control the amount of reactive power absorption by this inductor. So as we increase this inductive current, it means that more and more inductor come into picture and that absorb the more and more reactive power. And after that, this is the minimum inductor. If minimum inductor, then at this time this is the characteristic. So generally the characteristic of the variable inductor or controllable reactor is this hard line. So this characteristic are for maximum inductor and this characteristic for the minimum inductance. And this slope is nothing but a slope case that provide the impedance of this SVS system, or we can say that reactor of this SVS system. Then fixed capacitor characteristic, VI characteristic, you can see that as you provide the more capacitive current, the voltage at the particular bus increases. So you can see that there is a linear relationship between voltage and current, but that is in second quarter. When you combine this both the characteristic, inductor, control reactor and fixed capacitor characteristics, then that becomes the whole SVS characteristic. And this is the practical SVS characteristic. I again repeat, the practical SVC is nothing but shunt connected variable reactor and fixed capacitor. Combination of this, it is look like this way. Individually we draw the variable reactor characteristic, so it is look like this way. Then this fixed capacitor characteristic, it is look like this way. Then you combine both this characteristic, it means the characteristic of this component, that is look like this way. So this part, this one, you can see here, this characteristic is because of the controllable reactor and this characteristic is because of this fixed capacitor. So this combination of both this gives a practical or actual characteristic of the SVS system. But ideal characteristic is this one. It means that for any condition that provide the constant voltage, but practically it is not happen. Practically you can control the voltage from this range to this range. Yeah. So this range the voltage is this one, and at this point maximum point here the voltage is this one. So small amount of variation is happens at the bus when you connect the SVS, but that is in the acceptable level. Here it not provide the exact compensation to maintain the constant voltage. Okay? So this is the practical SVS system characteristics. Now before understanding the performance of this SVS system in the power system, we first understand the VI characteristic of the power system. So you can see that power system is basically one type of generator at the generating side, transmission line that is represented by the inductance. So there is Thevenin's equivalent reactance that represent the transmission line reactor, or you can say the impedance. ETH that represent the Thevenin's equivalent voltage that represent the generator of the power system. And here receiving side there is a variable reactive load that is represented by this box. So terminal side you can see the voltage is V, current is IS. So now if you see the VI characteristic, or V was a reactive current characteristic of this power system, so you can see that V in the y-axis, I in the x-axis, first quadrant there is an inductive current, second quadrant, that is a capacitive current. So as you know that if your load at the receiving side that is capacitive in nature, the voltage at the receiving side, it means this voltage V, that is greater than your supply voltage, means greater than this Thevenin's voltage. So you can see that here the second quadrant is a capacitive region. It means that your power system is operated as a capacitive mode. It means the load is capacitive in nature. So you can see that the voltage in this region, this is higher than the supply voltage. Supply voltage is ETH. This is the magnitude of the supply voltage. But in the capacitive region, the voltage at the terminal, this V, that is higher than this ETH. So that is a Faraday effect, we know that. So in this situation, what we require? To absorb the excess amount of the reactive power. So for that we require the SVS. Exactly opposite, if the load is inductive in nature, that is generally happen because most of the load are inductive in nature. So at the receiving side, V voltage always less than this Thevenin's equivalent voltage. So you can see that in the inductive region, when load is more reactive in nature, at that time the voltage at the receiving side, you can see that this voltage, this y-axis, that is the receiving voltage V. So V voltage at the receiving side, that is always less than this Thevenin's equivalent voltage or supply voltage. So here you can see that in the vector diagram, this is a vector diagram for the capacitive mode. So you can see that V vector, that is higher than Thevenin's voltage, and here current is leads the voltage because your system is operated in the capacitive mode, where here in this case you can see that in this part, the vector diagram, the ETH, Thevenin's equivalent voltage, which is higher than the vector V, and here the current is lag behind the voltage because system is operated in the inductive mode. So this is the VI characteristic of the power system. Previously we see the VI characteristic of SVS system. This is a practical SVS VI characteristic, that is the ideal SVS VI characteristic, and then after we see the power system VI characteristic. And then after we combine the characteristic of both SVS as well as power system, so that we can understand that how this SVS provide the compensation in the power system. So the next slide we can see that the variation of Thevenin's equivalent voltage as well as system reactance. Then after we see the combined characteristic of SVS as well as power system. So as you know that the system, based on the load condition, the voltage at the terminal side is vary. So you can see that here the Thevenin's voltage plus delta voltage variation that may happen because of light load condition, and the second characteristic, this one, that is a normal condition at the rated condition where voltage is maintained, Thevenin's equivalent voltage, and this condition is a voltage below the rated voltage, it means the high loading condition. So based on the variation of the source voltage, the voltage at the terminal side is also vary. So this is the effect of source voltage variation on the VI characteristic of the power system. Then this characteristic of the power system, which is affected by increasing the Thevenin's equivalent reactance. So as the reactance is increasing, you can see that this characteristic is more and more downwards. It means slope is increasing. So you can see that this is a first characteristic where reactance is very small. Second characteristic, increase in the value of system reactance, so slope is increasing. And again, if you increase the value of reactance, so again the slope is increasing. So this characteristic, VI characteristic of the power system, we find the maximum slope as compared to these two characteristics. So as the reactance of the system is increasing, the slope of the power system characteristic also increasing. It means that as the system impedance will increases, in the inductive case, in the inductive region, more and more voltage drop happens as the more and more current is flowing. as we know that this line impedance is high and more current is flowing, so more voltage drop happens in the line, and because of that the receiving side you get the less voltage. So this condition is represented by these three different characteristics. This first one, low inductance, so low reactance. Second one, high reactance as compared to this, and third one is very high reactance as compared to the previous two cases. So system characteristic is also affected by the increasing the value of reactance. So this is the variation of system characteristic by the source voltage as well as system reactance. Now let's see the combined characteristic or composite characteristic of SVC as well as power system. So as we know that the power system characteristic, the equation we can represent it as V is equal to ETH, Thevenin's equivalent voltage, minus voltage drop across the line. So as we know that in the power system, generally the terminal voltage is lower than the supply voltage. So this represents the power system characteristic in the form of mathematical equation. Same way, the SVS characteristic, mathematically that represented as the terminal voltage V is equal to rated voltage plus the voltage drop across the slope reactance. Slope reactance means the reactance provided by this slope. You can see that in this SVS characteristic, this slope is nothing but what? Ratio of voltage and this current. So V divided by IS, that is called as slope reactance of this SVS. So here this slope reactance XSL into current flowing into this SVS system plus rated voltage at the terminal side, at the bus side, is equal to voltage V. This voltage is provided by this SVS compensation. So exactly opposite to the system characteristics. In the system, voltage V is lower than Thevenin's voltage, but by providing the SVS system at the power system terminal side, that will provide the excess amount of that will provide the reactive power, so that by increasing the reactive power you can maintain the voltage at the terminal side to the rated value. So now you can see that the combined characteristic, this one is the SVS characteristic, this one, and three characteristic of the power system. This first characteristic that represent the light load condition of the power system. This second slope means this characteristic that represent the normal condition of the power system. It means at this point the voltage at the load bus that is maintained at the rated value. So this voltage at this point, that is the rated voltage. So that is a normal condition. Now third characteristic of the power system, this one, that condition represent the high loading condition. Because of that you can see that voltage V2 is very low as compared to the normal voltage, and V1 is very high, so that represent the light loading condition, or you can say the Ferranti effect. So in any of these three conditions, if you connect the SVS system, so at that time your power system get the reactive support through this SVS system, and SVS system provide the required compensation to maintain the constant voltage at the load bus. So let's understand one by one. Here first we understand the normal condition. So in the normal condition you can see that your SVS characteristic is this one, that is interact with the normal power system characteristic at the point A. In normal condition the voltage at the load bus that is equal to the required voltage. It means there is no compensation is required at this case, normal condition. Now second characteristic of the power system, that is a light load condition. In this case you can see that without SVS, it means without this FACS devices, the system voltage at the load bus that increases to the V1, that is without SVS system. But if you connect the SVS system, so you can see that this SVS characteristic that intersect with this power system characteristic at point B. It means that by connection of the SVS during this light loading condition that maintain the voltage level at V3. You can see that this is the intersecting point between the SVS and power system characteristic, and at this point the voltage level at the load bus is V3, and this voltage V3 is less than V1. It means that by connecting the SVS that absorb the excess amount of the reactive power and maintain the voltage level at the load bus nearer to the rated value. Not exactly the rated value, it means this value, but nearer to the rated value. So you can see that this V3 voltage that is nearer to this rated voltage. So by using the FACS devices, we can maintain the voltage near to the rated value. So this is the first case. During the low load condition or no load condition, the SVS provide the compensation by absorbing the excess amount of the reactive power and decrease the voltage. Now exactly opposite case, this characteristic of the power system when large load condition happens. So you can see that the load bus voltage V2, which is very low as compared to the rated voltage this point. So without compensation or without SVS, the load bus voltage is V2, but with SVS, you can see that this SVS characteristic is intersect with the power system characteristic, this one, at point C. So at point C, the voltage level at load bus, that is nothing but V4. So you can see that this V4 voltage which is higher than this V2 voltage. So why this happens? So here you can see that this intersecting point is in the capacitive region between power system and SVS characteristic. This is the SVS characteristic and this is the power system characteristic. Both are interact in the capacitive zone or capacitive characteristics. So it means that this SVS system that inject the reactive power into the system so that increase the voltage level and maintain the load bus voltage nearer to this rated value. Clear? So that's why here voltage at the load bus increases from V2 to V4 in the case of when you connect the SVS into the system. Same way here you can see that during this light load condition, this one, an SVS characteristic that intersect at the point B, and this intersecting point is in the region of inductive zone. So at this point your SVS system that absorb the excess amount of the reactive power so that decreases the voltage level from V1 to V3. So by any condition, low load condition, that it is operate as a inductor so that absorb the excess amount of reactive power and maintain the voltage V3 or near to the rated voltage. Exactly opposite during the high loading condition, it means this case when voltage becomes very low. So at this case your SVS operate in capacitive mode so that inject the reactive power and maintain the voltage at the voltage V4 level, or you can say that near to the rated voltage. So for any situation light load or high load condition of the power system, your SVS system provide the reactive compensation in a controlled manner. The main thing is that provide the reactive compensation in a controlled manner based on the requirement of the system. So here in this case, absorption of the reactive power is required, so that is act as a inductive mode, and here injection of the reactive power is required, so that inject the reactive power and maintain the voltage. So this is a very interesting features of this SVC system to provide the compensation for the voltage control. So this is a graphical solution of the SVS and combined with the power system characteristic. So I hope you understand this overall concept of providing the voltage control, or we can say that provide the compensation in the power system by using the SVS system. And again say that SVS is what? That is the combination of SVC, static var compensator system, all these 5 component or any of the 5 component, as well as mechanical switch, capacitor and reactor. So here I stop this lecture. I hope you understand this. So I summarize this lecture. we understand first what is SVC, then what is SVS, combination of SVC as well as mechanical switch, capacitor and reactor. Then first we see the ideal VI characteristic of the SVS system. This is the idealized diagram and this is the idealized VI characteristic of the SVS system. Then after we see the actual characteristic or realistic SVS characteristics, which is a combination of actual controllable reactor plus fixed capacitor characteristic. Combine both this that makes this actual characteristic of the SVS system. Then after we see the what is the effect of source voltage variation as well as system reactance on the power system characteristics. Then after we see the composite SVS as well as power system characteristics. So for any condition, light load condition, they maintain the voltage near to the rated voltage, as well as high loading condition that maintain the voltage near to this rated voltage. So I hope you understand the concept of FACS device SVS for the voltage control in the power system. Thank you.